So my program is a joint honors Bachelor of Arts in History and Political Science with French immersion and co-op options. I'm in 5th year, and next year I was looking to potentially do one course, but most likely to really focus on my job with the SFUO, hopefully, just because I feel, especially the job at University Affairs, really requires a lot of attention, and therefore I want to focus on that. So 3 words, I guess I would use change, and then new perspectives, and then in one sentence it would be coming together as one campus to work for what students want here on campus. My main goals are to continue the work that Chris has done, but to work a little bit more on outreach. So, for example, I really think that regardless of whether the referendum for a GA passes or fails, I think that there needs to be more town halls and more opportunities that are widely advertised to all students. So working in partnership with the VP Services and Comms to really engage with more students. And I also want to tackle the UPass, so give more choice, whether it be opt-ins in the summer, opt-out during the rest of the year. The contract is up for renegotiation with the city this year, so we do have an opportunity to enact some change there. So for the last 3 years, I've served as the president of the Residents Association, and the year before that I was the vice president of Residents Affairs. So in those 4 years, I've gotten a lot of experience doing pretty much what I would be doing, but for residents instead of for all students. So I want to take that experience when it comes to representing students, lobbying for what students are interested in, and really working with the administration to achieve things for students to the level of the SFUO. So I've already sat on a lot of the committees I'd be sitting in. I have those connections with the administration, and I'd like to apply those. I'm not running because I think that Chris has done a horrible job, and I really want to make it clear that I'm staying away from that sort of negative politics. I think Chris is a great guy, he's a personal friend. That being said, one of the things I noticed in a lot of negotiation meetings with the SFUO was when approaching the administration, it was very much an all or nothing approach, and that ended up shutting down a lot of conversations that could have been really constructive with the admin. So I'd like to take a slightly different approach when it comes to meetings with the admin and lobbying on behalf of students to try and actually achieve results instead of just shutting things down. Running with the One Campus Slate. I'm running with them because we're a group of like-minded people. That being said, we are still running, I don't know how best to put it other than to say that we all came up with our own platforms. They weren't dictated down to us by whoever was running the slate. So because of that, we all have some great ideas, and a lot of those ideas really come together really well. New ways of promoting, with Yana Hick, really making sure we connect with students, working with Jesse to make sure events are inclusive for all students. That includes first years who come into university and who aren't of age. And I've just found that they're a fantastic group of people, and I'd really look forward to working with them next year. This is the sort of thing where, again, I think it really is a plus for One Campus that we did come up with our own platforms and that we are running as strong independent candidates and not just as, a mob slate. That if there were disagreements, obviously I would take everything they said into account and listen to their opinions. But that being said, if what I'm hearing from students is different than what my slate says, I would go with what students are saying, and that's where consultation really comes into play for me. Throughout the election and before the election, I've had the opportunity, when it comes to student action, I've worked with many of the candidates, especially through the RUO, and I have good relationships with them, and I feel that it would be easy to work with them as well because I do already know them. And with Super Party, throughout the course of the election, I've had the chance to meet them, and they also seem like fantastic people, so I don't really see that as an issue. I think that organization is really important because you have to be able to manage your time and your tasks effectively in order to actually achieve results for students. I think that experience is also necessary, especially when it comes to the University of Ottawa. We're a big university, there's lots of levels of bureaucracy, so it is important to know who to contact and when, and to know how to navigate that system. And I also think efficiency is really important. So learning, which I have learned through the RUO, how to cut down on different bureaucratic tendencies that take forever and really whittle things down to the root in order to make sure that things are as efficient and effective as possible. I don't dance. I should be very upfront with that. Well, it's not that I don't dance, I can't dance. So that being said, I guess my go-to would be like picking apples, or let's say picking students' interests and putting them in the basket of my brain, yes. I feel a little guilty using Harry Potter for this because I feel it's almost a cop-out. That being said, I'm pretty sure I'd be Hermione, just because reading the books I really identified with her, how especially in the beginning she wasn't always the most socially adept, but by the end she really has overcome that, and she does have that thirst for knowledge and thirst for achieving things that I have as well. So for this one, I'd have to say Australia, specifically in the region, or in Perth, the city. The main reason for it is right outside of Perth, there's this little island called Rottnest Island, and they have these cute little kangaroo rat hybrid things, like they're mini marsupials named that are called quokkas, and they're adorable, and I want one desperately, so that would be the perfect place for me to get one.